Hi, Damon. Good morning. How you doing today? Give me an
Yeah,
overview.
so backstory, I'm originally from Jamaica.
Okay.
So I think this helpful like with the background of like I came here for college in 2010 and then I was training as a pro athlete maybe like after I left college in 2014 till about 2017 2018. What that means is that like I did sort of like the paleo kind of diet. Then usually I was around when I was competing at the heights was probably like 175 pounds. Um, and so that was just like what we did. And obviously I was working out like I was training full time, so burning a lot of calories and being strict. And then I was in San Francisco for a bit, and I think there's a couple of things that I think started happening. I never really experienced bloating. Um, but then during COVID, I had it before we had vaccines. So I caught COVID before the vaccines, and then after ended up getting the vaccines, like I started having just like definite just symptoms. Like I had brain fog, like crazy brain fog, slouchiness, and then I started having this like bloating, which the thought was am I just getting fat? Am I just old and retired? Or is this a symptom of something more? I don't know. Um, I also feel like, because I do work in startups, that I feel like I probably was under a lot of stress during that time. And so I'd have what people would consider, I think, I didn't think about it as IBS, but when I would tell people, like, oh, that sounds like IBS, where, I would eat and I would go poop pretty quickly. Um,
Yeah.
so that used to happen. And then I'm pretty sure I'm lactose intolerant, but, that's just the one I live with. And so I think coming out of maybe this was like 2022. Yeah, really, it started because even then I was still like keeping up. I was way more active in San Francisco than when I moved. I'm sure it's like depending on the city that you're in, and I think San
Sure.
Francisco was like a way more active city. So I was walking a lot. I was still working out. When I moved to Atlanta in 2022, I started to see a little bit more signs of like, wait, this might be getting out of hand. I'm not as active. Like, what type of food? I'm starting to realize obviously if I eat there's like a specific spice bun that I love from Jamaica that like if I eat that or versus some cheese I'm like wow this really like shows and like makes me feel a bit bloated. um, but then we did is it last year or the year before we did an endoscopy to test to see like we did a bunch of stuff. We went to a gastro kind of trying to figure out was it celiac like we did some. I'm trying to remember if we did the biopsy. Um, we did a couple tests and nothing came back was like wow like there's nothing that they could point off like that and so that was the suggestion of the doctor then was to do a just like get on there's a certain type of diet they had mentioned of like to test it. um I didn't.
Oh,
Sorry.
that low FODMAP diet.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like nah, maybe and so my most recent was like oh I'd be curious to do like a food sensitivity to get a sense of like I grew up in Jamaica with a lot of carbs. Like we had a lot of yams and banana and rice and all of that stuff, and that feels like it's so weird now. If I think if I'm gonna eat that or like now, I probably bloat a lot more. So I'm just trying to figure out like number one, what has changed? Age. I'm now about to be 35. So I think that's just part of it. Metabolism has slowed down. And then curious about like what sensitivities to food have I developed, or maybe because I was just so active, I didn't have, it just didn't like register that maybe.
Because you were so, yeah, maybe. And I'm curious, what was your sport? What were you active in?
I was track and field, so I was a jumper, yeah,
Awesome. High jumper, long jumper.
triple jump, triple and long.
Oh, cool.
So
Um,
that's where I've been playing around with, and maybe I should have committed to the low FODMAP diet, because that would give me a baseline. And I didn't fully commit to it. I think I've gotten better over the last couple months. It's just the summer where been going to the track a little bit more. Obviously, I'm outside a little bit more. And so now I'm just trying to wrap my head around, like I haven't definitively saying like, oh, when I eat this, this happens. Like I do know like the spice one because I can visibly see that like, whoa, like there's an extension off the tummy.
What kind of spice, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know the ingredient. I call it spice bun, but it's like a sweet Jamaican bun. I'll find it and see if I can share it with you.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think, and usually I'm a snacker, so it's not like I am eating big meals. It's like small portions along the way.
Okay, so you're a snacker.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's why I'm here is just this took a longer time to schedule since I remember the last time I went, I saw about 2 or 3 months ago. I saw the doctor, and I know you guys were trying to like get me to schedule, but I was just wrapped up in stuff.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think that's where my head's been off, like just wanting to be definitive of saying these foods are bad. And it's not that simple, but as close as possible that I can get to like stay away from these, you know.
Sure. Yeah. So you feel like you didn't really have the sensitivity to foods until COVID.
Yeah.
At least not that you noticed, say.
Yeah.
Okay. And go ahead.
I was just saying, it might have, I don't know. So like the thing is, you know, I came here when I was 18, 19, did the 4 years of college. And then after college, it was like, I was very strict with my, you know, my diet because I was like, you know, trying to be a high performance athlete. Then after that, the diet slipped because I was like, I didn't really need this anymore. But I was still very active. And then, yeah, with COVID, there was like several symptoms that came with like the actual COVID that I was like, I don't know if it was just whether it's the actual getting it or just like the period of like being at home, you know, that type of stuff slowing down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have COVID ever during COVID?
So that's what I was saying. So.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you said it was because you thought maybe since you took the vaccine or since you had COVID or both.
Yeah. Both. So I got it before the vaccine. I was like,
oh,
yes, I'm saying. So I got it before the vaccine. I remember this was like 2020. This was 2020 Thanksgiving. And actually, I recovered. I feel like I recovered fine. It was after I got the vaccine because it was still, if you see, like everyone's still up in the air of like, what should we do?
Sure.
Should I get 1 shot? Should I get 2 shot?
Yeah.
After getting it, I started having these symptoms of like, you know, brain fog, a little bit of bloating, like that type of stuff. Like things just felt, you know, yeah.
Are you still having the brain fog, the fatigue, any of those other symptoms now?
I think I've gotten better. There are times I'm still fatigued, but I think it's hard to take that off. Like I said, I work in startups because it is, and there's a part of it where it's just like, am I just stressed, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's been hard to kind of separate the two.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So your main goals working together is really to figure out why you're bloated, kind of get you see what foods you might be sensitive to, and get you on a sustainable nutrition plan that's going to help you feel your best.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So you haven't been diagnosed with IBS or anything, which really even IBS is like, I'm not sure what that is. Tell me, are you taking any medications or supplements right now?
Let me see. Nothing. No, I just got back from the dentist. I just had a couple of things there. I am finishing up. I like to say I did have it was taking some. I got some cholesterol meds from the last time. I don't remember what exactly it was. So this was supposed to like lower my cholesterol.
Was it a statin, some sort of statin?
Oh, I should know this. I don't think it. That doesn't sound familiar.
Like atorvastatin, simvastatin.
Hold on, real quick. I'll get it
That's
for you.
okay. So you do have, your cholesterol is a little bit high.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have those labs with you or know what those numbers are?
Yeah, let me pull up the app actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think cholesterol med, but it's rosuvastatin, yeah.
Rosuvastatin.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then this was
Do you know how much you take a day?
5 milligrams.
5 milligrams. Okay.
Yeah, so the cholesterol were we pretty high. I am in, yeah, it was, so the total is 264.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was when? Was this year? When was this, these labs?
This was June 19.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else out of range besides the total? Was your LDL, your triglycerides, were those all okay?
No, all of that was, yeah, triglycerides 157, LDL was 189, so it was pretty high, to be honest.
What was your HDL?
HDL was 46.
Okay. And what was your hemoglobin A1C? It's percentage. It should be on there somewhere.
It's 5.6.
5.6? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then
Anything else that stuck out to you that your doctor talked to you about that was out of range?
I think that was, what was the other one? There was one other, like lipids. Okay, I think that was it. And then the only other thing is that I go like, actually I haven't done it in a while, but I'll go through seasons where I'm like, I'll take a little bit of like creatine. So I think that showed up, but like, I haven't taken it in probably 2 months, and it's just more of a feeling whenever I'm like, I just want to go to the gym or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
when you're off creatine, how do you feel?
I actually don't feel anything. I guess I've never really taken it like consistently enough to notice a difference. Like I weight train, but not to the extent where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna double down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, yeah. I don't necessarily. I don't think I've done it enough to to notice the difference. To be honest.
Okay. So you don't really notice when you're on or off of it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. 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 Well, thanks for that, because those are numbers that we need to work with too, so that they can get back closer towards in the normal limits. Do you have any family history of high cholesterol?
I would say yes on my mother's side, but I can't tell you. It's a little more informal in Jamaica, but I would say yes.
Yeah. Okay. because that's good to know, just to know. Okay, I don't have your height or weight, so I can calculate your energy needs. What is your height and weight?
I think this morning I was 196. I'll be on the, and I think I'm 6 foot flat, which is like 5'11". I always say it's like 5'11". Yeah, either one works. I'd go with 5'11", but yeah.
5'11". Okay.
Yeah.
5 feet 11 inches. Okay. Okay. Thanks for that.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me then about your general nutrition habits. Walk me through a day. Sounds like you like to snack. What might you have throughout the day? What kind of foods?
Yeah, so like I work sort of an off schedule with most of my team is in the Bay Area, so I start my days a little bit later. So like today it's 10:20. This is my second cup of coffee. Today is one of the days that I don't work out. Usually I do something for like 30 minutes in the morning. And I am probably until maybe 12:30 thereabout. I might grab one of those. This like yogurt. It's like one of those like yogurt thing where you mix. It's like pretty small. Let me see if I can find what it is.
Like a yogurt smoothie?
Not a smoothie. Oh man, it's like a yogurt mix. I'll find it for you. It's like here, but it's pretty small. Let me see. I'll find it. I'll let you know.
Okay. So you have just in the mornings before noon. All you have before noon is generally a yogurt and some coffee.
Yeah, and yeah, at best. And then so anywhere between 12 and 3, it really depends on my schedule. Like if I'm back to back, I'm just grabbing maybe some chips or something. If I do have some time, usually there's like either leftovers or we have some. Sometimes we'll buy some of these like heat up foods like really quickly. I think the issue is like for me is like between 11 and 5, I'm usually back to back. So there's not like a fully dedicated time to just sit down. So if I have 30 minutes, sometimes even just 5, heat up something. And that's usually some sort of protein. So it's salmon or chicken, a chicken breast with sometimes it's quinoa, sometimes it's, some veggies. So I'll do that. Then we'll do either some other snack. I'll probably like it's chips or I do eat a lot of like blueberry and blackberries throughout the day sometimes. So I'll do that. And then really then it's like maybe between 6:30 and 8. I might grab dinner, and that's just it varies, but it's similar. Of like there's gonna be some protein like chicken, whether it's shrimp, salmon, and then maybe like a mashed potato and rice, that type of things, and then like depending on how I feel, and then there'll probably be like a glass of wine or so. Maybe like, I think probably 4 times a week, I'd say.
One glass?
Yeah. I think, I average a glass. Yeah. And
okay.
The thing is, I just got it. It's like the Chobani, like.
Oh, yes. The Chobani ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are good.
Yeah. And then I'm usually, I'd say I go to bed on average maybe somewhere between 11 and 10. 11 and 12. And then, I'm usually up. My wife, she ups before me, but maybe like 7 to 8. So, like I do go the longest stretch I go is like in the mornings, like from I wake up till there's like probably a 4 hour stretch before I eat most times. Like I don't necessarily feel hungry. Like right now, it's 10:30. I was up since 7:30 and I haven't really eaten much. I haven't eaten anything.
Okay. So you're just not hungry generally.
Yeah, I just not. Yeah.
And when do you feel the most bloated? Tell me about those symptoms. Does it come on right in the morning? Is it kind of build through the day?
Yeah, actually, the mornings are the best because I guess everything's digested. I'm not as hungry, so I feel like I was like, oh, like I don't feel that bad today, and then and so I will say the last couple of weeks, as I think I've increased my my activities. Sometimes I'll do two sessions a day, so I'll do like a track. I'll go run at the track in the morning, and then maybe like 6:30 I go do like a 20-minute lift at the gym. Since I've been doing that a little bit more, it's been I've seen the bloating less, I will say, but usually it's going to later in the night, and I'm trying to wrap my head about why the last 6 weeks felt different. So there's a couple of factors. Usually I travel like once a month. I go to San Francisco to meet with the team, and I've stopped that the last couple months, and so we're actually expecting a baby, and so it's like,
Congratulations.
thank you. And so we're kind of just like, it's interesting. Like I don't think we're eating out as much, and maybe that's one thing as well. Yeah, I don't think we're not eating out as much. And if we do, it's like it's almost always like if we're ordering, it's protein with veggies, or I'm always asking my first go to is like, is there any shrimp or salmon? So it's always like some sort of seafood per se. And that's actually been because it's interesting. I wouldn't consider myself a big carbs person. Like I could just eat 2 chicken breasts and that could be dinner for me, to be honest. So yeah.
Okay, so your bloating symptoms have actually improved in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, and I will say, I recently got some of the bun, and I was like, whoa, this just brought me back, Can I? And that's where I was like, okay, this is very. I think. Can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is the one that like really, I think.
Flour, sugar, yeast. Do you get bloated when you have like pasta or any like gluten products? Bread?
I would say so, but I really like. I'm not a big pasta person, and bread. Yes, but I don't. It's not like I go out of my way.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sorry, I'm trying to think. Like last night, we went to Texas Roadhouse. It's a restaurant here, and I had some of the bread, and I didn't feel that bad. Like they had this sweet roll thing, but usually, and like I had some shrimp, and it came with some bread, and I didn't have that bread. So usually, I try to I'm just not. If I'm gonna get something, it's like maybe fries or sweet potato fries.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did that hurt your stomach when you have something greasier or heavy?
Heavy does throw me off. Even so, sometimes I'll have Jamaican food. So it's like oxtails or chicken, and then it's less about that and it's more about the grease that goes into it. So heavy grease does throw me off for sure. Um,
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
yeah, it's like, you know, I used to just feel just sluggish.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. But you haven't really identified any specific trigger foods. Maybe it's fattier foods, maybe it's some wheat products, but you're kind of not really too sure. It sounds like exercise has improved or made the bloating improve. What do you exercise most days?
I'd say so. I think there's at least 5 sessions a week. Um, yeah, I'd say at least 5 sessions a week. Um, yeah.
Okay. How are your bowel movements? Are they regular?
Yeah, I think in part because maybe it's the coffee. So I think I probably average 2 cups a day. Um, yeah, I don't necessarily. The last time I had issues was actually when I was doing around like the biopsy, which was it last year? I need to go look that up. But I was trying out like a pre-workout, um, like one of those things that you put in like to give you energy to work out. But I don't really do that as often. But yeah, I think I would consider it pretty regular. Like I don't necessarily consider that to be an issue right now.
Your exercise?
No, the bowel movement.
Oh, you're sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Your bowel movements.
Yeah.
I'm still on exercise. I was calculating your calories. Okay. Okay. So there's really no GI symptoms other than the bloating. Like bowel movements are fine. Tell me about relationship with food. Do you crave food? Do you eat when you're hungry and you stop when you're full? Do you recognize those hunger fullness cues?
Yeah, I'm more of a like food is energy and it's a necessity. Like I'm not like a foodie, um, which some people hear they're like, oh my god, and I'm just like, yeah, it's just
Just eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. Now, when you tell me that you're snacking during the day, are you hungry every time you're snacking, or is it because you're busy and you're mindlessly snacking? Like what?
no. I think it's a little bit. I wouldn't say it's like a full on. I'm hungry, but it's also not a. It's not that I'm bored because okay, so this is my office. Like I actually have to like leave to go and grab it. So it's like there's often okay, I feel a little bit peckish. I'm not fully hungry. I also don't have time to full on get a meal. Let me go get some like it's like plantain chips or some popcorn or something.
Yeah.
That's more like what I'm talking about versus like especially in the workday. I think there are times at night when like my wife are outside, there's probably like some like chips on the table. Like I'll probably just like grab them because they're there. Um, but for the most part, it's like it's a preemptive. Oh, well, last time I had something was 90 minutes ago. Let me go grab something else, something like that.
Okay. Okay. And what do you know about foods that lower cholesterol, help lower cholesterol?
Mm, I don't know much. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I haven't really thought through that. But versus just like stay away from greasy foods. Like sometimes when I was like, oh, maybe you shouldn't have too much shrimp, that type of stuff.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, yeah, we want to really stay away from the saturated fat and focus on more of higher fiber
Hmm.
at all meals. So limiting like packaged foods, freezer meals, limiting chips, like yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Hmm.
Yep, higher fiber. We'll go over that too.
Okay.
because that sounds like something that we need to kind of work with too, because your labs were a little bit in the pre-diabetes, higher cholesterol range. Did your doctor talk to you about that?
Yeah.
At all?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right. He put you on a statin, which will help, but nutrition will help too. Okay. Tell me about stress. You work for startups. That's stressful.
Yeah.
But like daily, you're expecting a baby. That's stressful. Can be. I have three children. Tell me a little bit about, like, do you feel, if you're stressed, do you feel like impacts your bloating, your digestion, or your food choices?
I don't think I think my capacity is increased. That feels or sounds weird. Like, I think obviously, like, during COVID was such a weird time for folks. When everyone was trying to figure it out, and like stresses were higher. It's one of the tricky things where I can't tell you. Like, I do feel like I ruminate, and I do think there's like a baseline level of stress that I face, because not only it's like I'm also in sales, so it's like where I'm constantly like have to hit. There's goals that we have to hit, and there are days that are probably worse than others. I don't know if I've seen, or if I've like been aware of a correlation between, like, not recently at least. But it's also could be that I've, like, when you're it's kind of like asking a fish what's water. Like, I don't know. Because if I've always lived in this state, I can't tell you if there is anything else,
Gotcha. Okay. That's okay. Okay. All right. So, but you don't really feel like your kind of baseline level of stress is a little bit higher, and you're not really sure if that impacts what you're eating or any of your behaviors.
Yeah, I mean, now. There's like,
okay.
I guess I
that
do.
Can affect bloating. That's why I ask.
I guess I do, like, and I don't know how this is just like, oh, I just feel for candy, and I guess I would consider that a craving. Where I'm like, I just feel for candy. Like, I just want to go grab some. But, like, there's also, and the reason why I say it feels that craving, it's not like it's an everyday thing. It's like, I'll go a week and a half and nothing. And then I'm like, I just feel for,
yeah. And that's not necessarily, I'm talking about, like, oh, I just got off this stressful meeting. I really need to eat some sweets to, like, get my stress level down. Right? Yeah. Or like, oh, I'm just so tired. I just want some chips. It's almost like an emotional thing to make you feel better, but it sounds like that's not really the case.
Yeah, I don't have that relationship. Okay. It's very rarely I'm like, oh, I'm going to go for a walk, or, yeah.
Okay. And so, and I'm sorry, I think you told me this, but when does bloating hit you the most? Is it more like at the end of the day? Middle of the day?
Yeah, it's usually end of the day, and probably, like, I'd say after dinner. Like, dinner is probably also the biggest meal, so I don't know if that's correlation as well. Like, yeah, dinner feels always like the biggest meal, and sometimes it's close. Like, my day feels truncated, because I said I'll go. First meal is probably like 12:31 or first snack. And then dinner usually isn't beyond 8 o'clock. So I feel like, and not like I have a full-on breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but I would say, like, most of my meals are in this, like, 6-hour period of time. So, by time dinner, that usually, it's almost like it progresses to get, the meal is progressive to get more. Yeah. Like, there are times when I'm like, oh, like, almost like delaying the day, where I'm so hungry by the time it's dinner time,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for that. That kind of helps me kind of identify. I think we're going to look at something. So I think maybe a good spot to start would be looking at, well, you tell me. Okay. So I think we need to talk about nutrition choices to lower cholesterol. And we can talk about that.
Yeah.
And also maybe nutrition choices and being mindful and things that can cause bloating and how to deal with that. I think those are the two biggest things that we need to work on. We don't have to work on them together, but they kind of both go hand in hand anyway. How does that sound?
I think that's good. And yeah, I think as you said, they go hand in hand. The thing I was thinking, I guess that the alignment of like eventually figure out what to stay away from. Just like a general awareness. Like I think I'm part of it was also just still wrestling with where it's like the good thing is I don't feel like I'm allergic to anything. Like I haven't come across anything where it's like, oh, I never eat anything. And so coming from this world where it's like, wow, I used to work out so much and I could eat everything. It's kind of weird now where I'm just like, wow, I can't eat everything.
Yeah. And I think, okay, so I want to show you some information on bloating and that I think is going to help, because once we start to identify the potential causes of the bloating and change our diet to hopefully minimize that, those foods are also going to help improve your cholesterol, which I think also will, improve your GI symptoms. I don't know. We're going to do that first before we go into any FODMAP diet, because it's hard to know. And I think there's value in keeping a food journal, but hear me out. Food journal as far as maybe taking pictures of your meals in the Kalina Food app, Kalina Food Journal, because you can also track any GI symptoms. So it would be beneficial for me to see too what you're eating and then what your symptoms are after.
Got it.
And then that will help us tailor a nutrition plan, and maybe find some food triggers. And then from there, we can look into a FODMAP. But I think just becoming more aware first might be helpful.
Yeah. Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think that's something I can commit to.
Okay. We'll talk about that more in just a minute, but I want to show you this so that you can be mindful when you are logging. I'm going to share my screen with you. Enough fiber. And not fiber once a day at a meal, fiber at every meal. And snack. So keeping your fiber intake consistent can help reduce bloating. Okay. Portion sizes, that's why I say regular meals and snacks, because sometimes what we do in America, which just causes a lot of GI distress, is we don't eat, or we eat less, or we don't really focus on any meals until dinner, and then we have a big dinner, and then we go to bed. Sometimes that causes GI distress and digestive issues. So if we can focus on having our meals throughout the day, then we can kind of eat lighter later and eat more towards the beginning of the day. It's a big shift. It's hard, but just something to think about, or at least having less for dinner and moderating our intake during the day. Here we go. Eating between meals. Yep. So portion sizes, staying hydrated. Like, are you drinking during the day? I think I asked you about that.
Yeah, I think hydration is like, I'm not a... Yeah, I think I do. There are days like I try to like really go above and beyond, which is actually interesting. I think sometimes that's one of the reasons why I don't feel as hungry, because
because you're hydrated.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Sometimes we're thirsty, not hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. So as long as we stay hydrated, that's going to help with bloating. And then if you active, like you said, like the more active you are, the stronger your digestive system will be. So that's great. And then if you find yourself bloated at night, ginger tea, fennel tea, peppermint tea, papaya enzymes can help digestion. You can find them at your local CVS. Have you ever tried any of these teas, herbal teas?
I do ginger tea a lot, but it's also ginger tea because there's been a couple times a night. That's like part of my wind down routine. Um,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Yeah. So, there's some things that we can try to do to
Mm-hmm.
help bloating, and then some things we can do to kind of prevent it. So
Yeah.
I think for the first maybe 2 or 3 weeks till we meet again, if we kind of if you wouldn't mind taking pictures and or just logging what you're eating in the Kalina app, not for calories, just simply
Mm-hmm.
here's what I ate, here were my symptoms. Then you and I both can get a better sense of what's what might be triggering and what might, because it might just improve on its own, or we might decide that, oh gosh, it was more of a behavior issue than maybe what I'm eating.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? I think it's a little both. But what do you think about that?
Yeah. That was just like getting the app, but yeah, I think that's good. In terms of like the behavior and trying to wrap my head around. The interesting thing is the behavior is only when I'm here versus when I'm in San Francisco. Like say I go visit once a month. Obviously my day starts at 8 a.m. So I'm like eating. Like usually I'm eating something before then, like at 7:30, and like it's also a bit more. Yeah, it's like I'm eating more throughout, and actually I eat less for dinner because there's a breakfast, there's a lunch. It's a little bit more communal because I'm with the team, and then there's probably snacks, and then by the time dinner, I'm not too hungry. So the
Yeah, because
behavior
you've been
does
feeling
shift.
yourself all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the behavior does shift versus here. Most like my first call is not going to be until 11:30. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, you know,
Eh.
yeah. So it's not as I don't have to go. So I think it'd be interesting to see what that behavior looks like. I think the idea of like understanding patterns, I think that'd be helpful. Um, yeah, I think patterns are helpful, and then obviously I do think I need to like get the cholesterol um, thing down and
Yeah.
like focus on that. But I do think like understanding patterns is not something I've really thought through of like it is the food and that's one piece, but also just like how and when I eat.
Yeah, we can't change what we're not aware of. So
Mm-hmm.
once we get a little bit better grip on your habits, then we can start to refine and kind of poke holes in your routine.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Helpful.
Okay.
Thank